The champ is here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a brand new series on the channel. John Cena wins 16 world titles, the watch along series. This is episode 1, which means we are going back to WrestleMania 21. John Cena versus John Bradshaw Layfield. We're pressing play in just under 10 seconds time, so make sure to join us for the watch along here. In fact, let's get a countdown ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press play, and there you are. We are live watching the match now from WrestleMania 21. Like I say, you follow underneath my chin, the timestamp, you know then where we are on the video, so you are not left behind. And to NXSteve, this was your idea of a series, so thank you very much for suggesting it. And first match, WrestleMania goes Hollywood. WrestleMania 21, JBL coming in style in a limo. And John Cena, of course, are going to win that first world title.
One of my more fun aesthetics of WrestleMania, the whole Hollywood idea, because this is obviously the year they do all the remake of the famous movie trailers and movie scenes. And you got Austin doing like Gladiator, and you got, is it Booker T and... Oh, who is it that's doing Pulp Fiction with him? I think it might be Jericho. Just honestly, just some fun memories of WrestleMania, man. Like literally one of the ones that makes it sticks out to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me, this is one of my favorite WrestleManias as well. Looking back to it, obviously, Alana Jordan, the United States champion. Who remembers that? JBL's cabinet, of course, he was the longest champion in SmackDown history at that stage as well. Yeah, I mean, this was a good little feud at the time. John Cena won the #1 contenders tournament to get this opportunity. Of course, he was the runner-up in the Royal Rumble, losing out to Batista. Of course, famously, both went over the top rope and hit the floor at the same time. Vince McMahon was a bit upset about that, so he broke his quads, literally by just walking to the ring in a strut angry fashion. But of course, you fast forward here to April, like you say, just a beautiful stage as well. There, all the money now coming from the top of the arena as well. JBL, yes, he's rich. We've got the gist of it. Going against John Cena, person of the people, 20 years ago, maybe not in 2025, but hey, that's his choice, not ours. But yeah, looking forward to this watch along. Should be a fun one here. And obviously, like I say, diving back into one of my more favored WrestleManias, obviously, you could argue stars are born on this show. I mean, obviously, we can give the spoilers here. John Cena wins the title in this one. Obviously, Batista does as well from Triple H. And I think that's what's really good. You see all these ruthless aggression stars that have come through, and obviously, this is their time. Arguably, as John Cena would say, the time is now.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest surprise in me is how much of a main event star JBL actually becomes after like changing from being Bradshaw and being part of the APA, and he goes on to be, and the fact that they use like his real life business, like because I remember him being on like shows talking about like stock exchange prices, and I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this persona? Because this is not the JB owner. The JB owner drinks beer and kicks asses, and I'm like, it was a weird thing, and like I'm so glad it happened, because it's like it's very. I think this is like one of the first instances I can honestly turn around and go, this is a guy getting to a main event that probably shouldn't have been here. Like, and just the way it happened and the way he got there, and like you said at the time, longest reigning SmackDown champion as well, and becomes probably one of the biggest heels in the company as well. It's just, it's refreshing, but don't get me wrong, I still wasn't JBL's biggest fan as this character. I still preferred him as like Bradshaw from the APA, but yeah, it's good to see that, like, it's just refreshing, I suppose, more than anything, to see that someone like JBL could become a main event star.
Certainly, indeed, it did come out of nowhere. To be fair, at the time, and people look back at the Jinder Mahal reign as world champion. Obviously, they felt themselves at the time, well, he was jobbing, and all of a sudden he was world champion. Kind of the same thing happened with Bradshaw. Was in the tag team with Farouk, broke away with that, decided to go on his own, changed the gimmick. Within about 8 weeks, he was world champion. Obviously, beating Eddie Guerrero. But we see John Cena coming to the ring here. Of course, he's got the vest on, the chain gang. Of course, he's got the chain around his neck as well. Obviously, the basketball-style jersey that he would wear in the ring when he was the doctor of thugonomics. Of course, he's on the transition now into Super Cena at this point. And of course, the entrance music, The Time Is Now, of course, had debuted earlier that month, I believe. I believe it was the 17th of March 2005 was the day that it debuted. Thank you, Joey, from the Angle podcast for that reference. And of course, it's 20 years later, and he's still keeping it on the day that we thought he was going to change it. Of course, when he turned heel. If you're watching this, yes, 2025, John Cena had turned heel. Of course, we're still marveling in that revelation. But of course, for you that are watching this well into the future, of course, you can just look back and you'll know with this series, because that's the beautiful part about this series. Right now, this is John Cena's 16 world title wins. But by the end of this year, will it be lucky number 17? Will John Cena break Ric Flair's record? I'm going to put you on the spot, NXSteve, before this match gets started.
I would like to think so. Triple H is all about breaking records at the minute, but it just for me, it's when they do it. Is WrestleMania too soon? Is it they save it for the last minute? I don't know. I think if he's going to do it, it probably will be WrestleMania, grandest stage of them all. Make even WrestleMania even bigger than what it already is. So yeah, I'm going to say he does do it. I mean, let's be honest, the record champion thing is kayfabe anyway, because obviously Flair's got loads more outside of WWE. So I think it's a case of, I think genuinely John Cena is probably like the biggest record holder in WWE anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it comes to WWE title records, I mean, obviously, like you say, Flair's done his in many different destinations. So, yeah, Johnson has the WWE record. I think no one comes close. But obviously, Ric Flair's one is Cena's 16 world titles when you class WWE, WCW, and NWA. But JBL and Cena have locked horns.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably luchadors down in Mexico that have got like 40 odd world title reigns. Do you know what I mean? So, but we don't count them. Unless WWE owns them, we don't count them.
Well, R-Truth has got the record for the 24/7 championship. I don't know how many times he's held that thing, but yeah, obviously at this moment that's not a world title. So, but hey, it's got a lot of numbers in it, so give him credit for that. Shoulder block from JBL. It's looking like he's taking control early on in this match over a big match, John.
Forgetting how much, like I've said before previously, Bradshaw, his clothesline from hell is just, it's genuinely one of them moves I would never want to take from him, ever. Like, there is certain moves where you'd feel like, yeah, do you know what, I could do that, I could take that, but that clothesline from Bradshaw, like the speed and the power he gets behind it, and like I said, even from a shoulder tackle just now, it's still like, it's almost like JBL is just one of them guys that's just like, not sort of, like underestimated in terms of strength, but just like he just is a physical presence.
He really, really is. I mean, for me personally, I look back at 2004, 2005. I hated JBL as world champion. I didn't believe in it. I didn't buy it. It's kind of, I mentioned Jinder Mahal already in this video, and it's kind of like, that's where I kind of looked at it. Was like, there was no build, there was no nothing, and all of a sudden this character had come in. But to be fair, like, it was a big transition from JBL, and he pulled it off. And obviously, he would continue this gimmick for the remainder of his career. And to be honest, had a heck of a run out of it. We go on to Raw, we go on, continue on SmackDown as well, being other World Heavyweight Championship matches. Obviously, he would continue after this in the summer, feuding with Batista. He's feuded with likes of The Undertaker, Shawn Michaels. The list goes on. And JBL did have arguably a heck of a career under this gimmick, but still uses it today if he comes back into WWE now. He doesn't really have a protection agency, does he, when he comes back for these days for the nostalgia pops?
Yeah, it's the duster coat I don't get when he appears in TNA. Like, what's the deal behind that?
Yeah, I'm not sure with that either, but hey. Cena's not having a good run so far, but obviously this is the first time he. We could make some comparisons in the modern day era when you look at this, because obviously Cena at this point is kind of like someone like a Jey Uso, if you will, like Jey Uso looking to win the big one at WrestleMania, obviously in Vegas in WrestleMania 41. You would assume right now he probably would be the favorite to do so, but obviously it's a sort of underdog story kind of feel. I wouldn't say Cena's an underdog here, but obviously it's a bit of the unknown. Would you have felt in 2005 John Cena winning the world title was something that you would be against, or perhaps feel he's not ready for?
No, I mean, he's obviously, everyone knows his story about how his original Ruthless Aggressions didn't really work, and like, do you know what I mean? The luck that he has in the fact that he could freestyle rap, and Stephanie hears it, and that's what makes this gimmick become what it is. And I think, to be fair, his whole build, like his whole run, like I remember his rivalry with Big Show, and everything he done with that, and he kind of naturally got himself over, which was again a very refreshing thing to see from someone who's come from obscurity and risen to the top. And by this point, and again for the time period where people are, do you know what I mean? They're sort of becoming more fans of the bad guys than they are liking the good guys. And I think by this point anyway, John Cena's a face anyway, and he's got most of the crowd backing him anyway. But the comparison, I think, is actually pretty spot on for Gunther and Jay. Like these two in general, like JBL is this dominant champion, which is pretty much what Gunther is. John Cena is the underdog that really maybe shouldn't be in this spot and has a point to prove, which is exactly the same as Jay. So to be fair, the symmetry is actually quite uncanny.
Absolutely, yeah. I think there's definitely a good sort of symmetry with this here, and it'd be interesting to see how it would work out. Maybe we have a star of the future for a Jey Uso. You never know. I'm not sure if he'll get to the heights of a John Cena personally, but at the same time, time will tell when it comes to that one. But John's not doing too well in this one at the moment. It's just been closed on in the corner by JBL. It's quite a physical match, you would say, up to this point.
It's a typical Bradshaw match or JBL match I would expect. Like this isn't going to be known as a spectacle for high flyers, which is this is, I think, the good thing about this series is that we see John Cena versus a multitude of different opponents. Like I'm pretty sure there's one against Rey Mysterio. He's going to have ones against Taker, Edge, Triple H. There's going to be just loads of different matches to kind of break down, and it's almost like an evolution of his wrestling style and how he's able to deal with and wrestle with different characters.
Absolutely. Obviously, we'll come out to say perhaps matches looking forward to in the series. I mean, for me personally, I'm quite looking forward to the Unforgiven 2006 TLC match versus Edge. That's one of my personal favourites. I'm also looking forward to Royal Rumble 2017 versus AJ Styles. Obviously, that's the famous 16th world title. Two fantastic matches, those ones. So we will have Two Sweet Kyle with us as well. He'll be joining us for one of the matches as well in this series for those that want to keep score as well. I believe that will be one of the triple threat matches at WrestleMania. I believe it's against the Big Show and Edge, if I'm not mistaken, which is WrestleMania 25.
Yeah, I think the only one we got to struggle with is the Raw one, isn't it? For when he faces, I think it's Rey Mysterio when CM Punk comes back. I think that's the hardest one to find at the minute because I don't think it's on the network.
It's not, unfortunately, because we are in the Netflix era, ladies and gentlemen, which means we don't have all the Peacock stuff anymore. We have to dig deep to find what we get. But I do believe it is possible. I think at the moment it's on WWE Vault's YouTube channel, thanks to your good self doing a little bit of research previously. So we should be good in that department. But John Cena looking to try and get back into this match now. Has done a back suplex there. Has taken a hell of a punishment from JBL. We've been laying the table for the series, I feel, for this one. We've not discussed too much into the match so far, but certainly, like you said, it's been a physical Bradshaw style match. And will John now be able to put this more into his game plan as perhaps when we get to the latter stages? He runs off the ropes at this point, double clothesline. Both men hit the ground once again, and referee looks to be Nick Patrick. Probably going to start applying that 10 count very shortly indeed.
Senior referee Nick Patrick was one I haven't heard of in ages.
Absolutely, yeah. Long time since we've seen him in the WWE ring. Of course, famously as well used for his WCW days with the NWO official as well. Both guys are looking to get back to their feet. John Cena with that never give up attitude, you could say there. Look, he's throwing a few rights now.
Sorry, go back to Nick Patrick. I just got flashbacks to him versus El Hebno at Invasion from 2000, 2001, whenever it was, and just how bad that was. Yeah, sorry.
that was a painful match. That was not an invasion match you expecting to get, really. It's of two referees.
That's so random.
Wanted Hogan, wanted Goldberg, wanted Steiner. No, we got Nick Patrick instead in action. Not as good in hindsight. We look back over it.
Whatever happened to Orlando Jordan as well, man? Thinking about it now, like I never actually remember seeing him defending that United States title. He just kind of had it. Don't remember him winning it. Don't remember him defending it as well. That's kind of a random one as well.
I want to say he lost it to Benoit when he dropped it, but I can't remember who he beat to get it. And yeah, I don't think he defended it very much when he had it. But I do know he had a stint in TNA, probably some stints on the Independents after that as well. But yeah, one of those wrestlers that fell out of obscurity, unfortunately.
JBL with some big chops here. This is pretty much Gunther versus Jay from WrestleMania this year. And to be fair, the crowd engagement, I got a feeling is going to be pretty much the same as well. Like I don't know, it's almost like they're waiting for that moment where we can start raising the levels in terms of anticipation.
Certainly, indeed. Their superplex from JBL from the second rope there. It has been a dominant display from JBL. Something you would expect as well. Someone that's been champion for over, I believe it was 9 months at this period as well. Now has that big match experience. John Cena sort of getting into his first, arguably, WrestleMania style main event. It's the sub main event, but this is only John Cena's second WrestleMania, believe it or not, at this point. Obviously, he
Isn't
had
the first
debuted
one
in
against Big Show?
2002. First one is against Big Show. The year previously in Madison Square Garden, WrestleMania 20 was the opener of the show.
For the US title, wasn't it?
It was for the US title, indeed.
My memory does serve me well sometimes.
It does, indeed. Cena's just countered there.
Good counter.
Yeah, it was like a cross-body attempt of some sorts from JBL from the top rope, but it was caught and it was power slammed by John Cena there. WrestleMania 19, John Cena does make an appearance in the pre-show as the Doctor of Fungonoids, spitting a rap saying that he would be one of the big deals on the next WrestleMania, believe it or not. So it's his third appearance at WrestleMania, but only his second match in a WrestleMania at this point.
And imagine where he goes from here and how many times he appears at WrestleMania. Do you know the thing is like, this is what I obviously we've got plans for other videos coming out, and obviously looking into previous previous WrestleManias. The amount of times that the WWE WWF title doesn't main event a pay-per-view is just shocking.
Quite a lot, actually. Cena is now making the comeback. The Super Cena starting to kick in. Shoulder block here. Now look at that. The hip toss with him sitting down at the same time.
Weird bulldog.
Doing that. Yeah, very weird.
The only thing I can imagine is obviously probably as he gets older, that bump on himself probably just takes more toll on him than anything.
Absolutely. At this point now, it's time for the You Can't See Me, the 5-knuckle shuffle. We can see you, John. This is a watch along. See, told you the joke's still funny 15 years later.
Oh, 5-knuckle shuffle.
He hits it.
Oh, he's doing a Randy Orton pose for John. Oh, he's pumping up the Reeboks.
Oh, boot to the face, close on from hell, missed.
There we go. Oh,
the FU, of course, later renamed to the Attitude Adjustment, and that is it, ladies and gents. John Cena.
One Attitude Adjustment. Shocking.
Absolutely. Fantastic. Do you know what, though? My favourite part of all of this, because I think we can agree it's not a 5-star classic, this match. It's actually the celebration that comes up now. John Cena immediately going to the crowd. I just love this moment where he falls into the crowd. This is the moment when actually he's light. There's an OVW sign as well standing behind him as well, which is quite interesting. What if that's the reason he's gone over there? Look, he's balancing on. No, can't stay up there. Hugging a guy, give him the title. This is the bit. Here we go. Falling into the crowd there. I like that bit.
And just kills all the small women behind him.
Forget you can't see him. You can't see them anymore.
Honestly, I used to hate that design of that title belt as well. And the thing is it doesn't get better because he brings in the spinner belt, and I'm like, oh, it just gets worse.
Yeah, the spinner was not a great title, to be fair. I didn't mind this title, to be fair. I thought this title was all right, but yeah, the spinner was not for me.
Yeah, I mean,
once again there.
It's an okay match. It's nothing to like. It's never going to break any records or set any standards for WrestleMania or in terms of in-ring quality. I think it's almost a little bit lackluster, the fact that it's only one attitude adjustment for the pinfall. We don't get... I don't even recall seeing a lot of near falls in that. It's just maybe one or two. I suppose it's a great way to start the show. Is this even the match? It's not the match opening. It's just like second to last match. What am I talking about? Yeah, I don't know. I was just maybe expecting more, but dude, look, he gets the first one. That's the important thing. Do you know what I mean? And he has to then try and go on and obviously This is where obviously his legacy begins as a 16-time world champion. So, yeah,
So
props to him. Yeah, it's like I said, it is what it is, really. It's like I said, not the greatest match. If I had to give a star rating for it, I'd probably say a 2.5. It's probably a bit of a bang average match, but the fact that it's his first win, it's at WrestleMania, kind of makes it a little bit more special.
absolutely. I think a 2.5 is a fair rating for it as well. It's bang in the middle. It's
Yeah,
nothing too extravagant. I agree with you. It does lack a bit of drama, this one. There's not enough
yeah,
near falls in it for me. And like you say, one finisher. I think perhaps maybe we're a bit spoilt with modern day wrestling. That's possibly
maybe.
what that comes down to. Maybe it's time
Yeah,
restriction for the match. It's not the longest match as well. We've done this watch along with entrances in less than 20 minutes. So, I mean, that goes to say something as well. But I've looked up Dave Meltzer's rating for this one, a 1.25 star rating. So big Dave, a
wow.
big fan of this match. But what I will say is though, it hit its mark because John remained champion, and obviously he had a long reign with
Yeah,
his title after this. Would hold it all the way till New Year's Revolution, of course, and he was cashing on with Money in the Bank, which was won earlier in the night on this show by one Edge. Of course, that was done after Cena had actually defended the title successfully inside the Elimination Chamber at New Year's Revolution. So, episode 2 will be when John Cena wins the title back from the Rated R Superstar at the Royal Rumble in 2006. NXTeve, you're looking forward to fast forwarding a year?
definitely, man. I'm always happy to see an Edge match, and hopefully we can see. Like I said, that's the thing. The most important thing about this series is that we're going to see how Cena deals with different oppositions and the different wrestling styles, and that's what I think I'm most excited about. And the fact that Edge is like one of my all-time favorites, it's just going to be fun anyway to see what the match quality is like, because I don't remember them all off the top of my head, but just to watch it again will be good.
Absolutely, indeed. Looking forward to it. If you've enjoyed this video as well, then make sure to support the channel, hit the like button, share with a friend, subscribe as well. You're going to know how this is going to work along then. We've seen one world title, 15 currently to go, but will there be a 16th later this year, perhaps even after WrestleMania 41 when he takes on Cody Rhodes in the main event of night 2? But that's all from us. Thank you for watching. Look after yourselves and each other. We'll see you for the next video. If you want our reaction from John Cena's explanation of turning heel on Monday Night Raw in Brussels, then check out the video on the side of the screen right now. Thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you for the next one.